Namaskaram, Sadhguru.
Who is speaking? Yeah.
If time is relative, can we time travel?
So, you want to go into the past or the future. Isn't this the biggest problem in the world? People are time traveling within themselves. They're trying to live what happened 10 days ago, or they're trying to live what may happen day after tomorrow. Time travel is the biggest problem, don't seek it. It's already a great problem. Now, that's not what you're asking. You want to know what happened in the past, or you want to know what will happen tomorrow. When he said, "Mere bare mein kuch bolo," whatever, what he is telling me is, why don't you time travel for me and tell me what will happen tomorrow, okay? Yes, that's all he's asking. So I have to wear my astrological clothes. See, if you transcend your physical nature, there is no such thing as time. There is… in India, in this culture, we have a word called Trikalagnani. That means one who knows past, present and future. This does not mean he's time traveling. That is what these Hollywood movies, which misunderstand everything logically and literally. So why I'm saying this is, they're always trying to understand everything factually, literally. When we said there is a Trikalagnani, they said, oh, there is somebody who goes into past, present and future. See, this moment is eternity, I want you to know. It's question of, are you living in the surface or do you have a profound experience of what's now? What you think is past, what you think is future, or what you think is now, is all one happening. They are not three different happenings. They are not three different dimensions or three different geographical spaces that you can go into and come back. When you use the word travel, it suggests movement, isn't it? I travel from point A to point B. I can't travel from point A to point A, point A to point A, point A to point A. I cannot travel unless I'm making rounds. So right now, when you say past, present and future, you're talking about triple A. You understand? It's AAA, it's not ABC. When we say time, in the yogic perception, which ultimately modern physics will come to someday, hopefully, is time is the basic aspect of creation. Because of time, there is gravity. Because of gravity, everything else. Right now, the problem with modern physics is, they have reasonably understood the other forces, they're unable to understand what's gravity. Gravity is a consequence of time. It's not the other way around. Because there is time, there is gravity. The word time itself may not conjure that image in your mind. The Sanskrit word is correct, it's kala. Kala means two things, time and emptiness. Kali, not talking about the Devi. Kali means what? Empty. Kala means darkness, kala means time, and it also means emptiness. If you try to speak with little more personified context, we will call this Shiva. So we are talking about time and emptiness, time and nothingness as the same thing. Because there is time, there is creation. Because what we call as creation exists, there is gravity, because to maintain the integrity of a little bit of physicality in this vast kala, you need some force to hold it together. So, gravity is only when time bends in a certain way. Time which is nothingness, time which is emptiness, takes a curve. When it takes a curve, physical dimension begins. If it doesn't take a curve, physical does not exist. So when we say spiritual process, you're trying to get out of the curve, because whatever curves ultimately will go in circles, isn't it? So because you experience time as a consequence of the curve that it took, you're understanding time as the spin of the planet, as the rotation of the moon and the sun and whatever else. But when we refer to kala, we are talking about time in a more fundamental way, that it is emptiness, it is nothingness, it is clear space is time. We are always… the modern concept is talking about time and space as two different things. We are talking about time and space as one thing. The existential is gravity. The non-existential presence that is there is kala or kali or emptiness or time or whatever you want to call it, or darkness. All these things symbolize the same thing. So if somebody travels in time, he's lost his mind. Really. I know books are written about it. Don't ever believe. Please, I want you to understand. You throw up a new concept. Let's say a scientific community throws up a new concept, or philosophically some new concept comes. Instantly, there will be 100 authors in America. First 80 will come from America, next 10 will come from India maybe these days. They will write books about how they experience this concept which may not even exist. Powerful books will be written. And one generation will grow up on that and it will die. Next generation has not even heard about what the books that were popular in 70s and 80s, this generation has not even heard about those things which shaped those people's psyche completely. So this time travel business, this near-death stuff that's going on, these are popular subjects right now. I would advise you write a book. You'll sell well, make money, it's all right. If it's your survival, write something. But if you're seeking, don't bullshit yourself into something and you'll get lost. Don't do time travel, because you cannot do time travel. Time as you know it only exists because of your physical nature. If you really want to know the profoundness of time, if you want to know the kala which holds everything together, which holds everything in its lap, you must distance yourself from your physical nature. Then you know kala, not as three, but three A's superimposed on each other, not A, B, C. So then you will not try to travel, you will dimensional shifts within yourself, not psychological understanding of time. What happened yesterday is one time, what's happening now is another time, what may happen tomorrow is another time, not in that context. They are not three separate things. Actually, what happened yesterday, if you sit here and imagine all that, it'll all happen now, isn't it? Yes? What may happen tomorrow, if you sit here and if you have powerful enough imagination, it'll happen right now. This is why people are suffering something that happened 10 years ago and something that may happen day after tomorrow. Yes, they're enjoying and suffering things which don't exist. So, if you try to do time travel, you will lose your mind and think you're experiencing something. Psychological drama that you create in the form of thought and emotion is not life. It is a badly directed movie.
From yogis of ancient times to popular movies like Interstellar, there have been stories and some seemingly real instances about time travel. Is time travel really possible? If yes, how can I make myself capable of time travel?
See, these things have been misunderstood very badly because science and mysticism is coming to you from Hollywood movies, unfortunately. In this culture, we've had people whom we refer to as Trikalagnanis. There are three dimensions of experience in your life. There is something called as past, which is a bank of memory within you. There is something called as present, which is a living experience right now. There is something called as future, which is the power of our imagination. So your life experience is happening between memory, present experience and imagination. The problem with most people is, these three things are not clearly distinguished in most human beings. This is why something that happened 10 years ago, you can still suffer, isn't it? Huh? Something that may happen day after tomorrow, you already suffer. What happened 10 years ago or even 10 days ago, does it exist right now? Does it exist right now? What may happen day after tomorrow, does it exist right now? No. So if you suffer something that does not exist, should we call you sane or insane? It's a question, don't clap. It's a disgrace. If you are suffering something that does not exist, is it sanity or insanity? How many people that you know, including yourself, are insane like this? They suffer things which don't exist. Nearly 99.99, isn't it? Happening all the time. So these are all idiots who are doing time travel. Time in the yogic sciences, modern physics always grapples with these two dimensions, time and space, or space and time, that's how they refer to it. In yoga, we call this kala. The word kala, even in Tamil, means time. But kala also means emptiness. Kala means darkness. Darkness means nothing is there, no light, no nothing. That is empty space. Kala means time. So we're using the same word for time and space. We just have a distinction called Kala and Mahakala. There is time which is caused by revolutions of physical dimensions of life. When I say revolutions of physical dimensions, everything that's physical is in a circular moment. Whether it's an atom or it's a whole cosmos, everything is in circular moment. The planets, the universes, everything. Everything that's physical essentially is in circular moment. So this is kala, the time that you know because of rotation of physical objects. If the planet spins once, we call it a day. If the moon goes around, we call it a month. If the planet goes around the sun, we call it a year. This is the only way you know time. So time that you know is only by cycles. There is a time which is beyond physical nature, which is not because of circular motion of physical objects. This we call as Mahakala. Mahakala includes the space also. Generally in modern physics, the general understanding is because there is space, because there is distance, there is time. If you want to travel from point A to point B, you need time. But in the yogic sciences, from our experience, we see it like this: because there is time, there is a possibility of space. It's very beautifully put by Adi Yogi, over 15,000 years ago. When these seven sages, his first disciples, asked him, what is the nature of this cosmos? Where does it begin? Where does it end? How big is it? He laughed and he said, your cosmos, I can pack it into a mustard seed. Very efficient packing, isn't it? He said, this entire cosmos, I can pack it into a mustard seed because it is only a consequence of time. The space and the distance is only a consequence of time. So we call people Trikalagnanis, and we also call people as Akalagnanis. That means timeless people, people who are timeless. Timeless means what? You're sitting here right now. If I make you sit here for another 6 hours, no, it doesn't take that much for you. If I make you sit here for another 2 hours, Sadhguru, at least water. Okay, drink water. Drink water means, Sadhguru, that calls, okay, go and come. Another 2 hours, Sadhguru, okay, we give you that. After that, you don't ask permission. Your body is cycles of time, isn't it? You don't have to look at the watch. If you observe your bladder, you know how much time? Yes or no? It's keeping time. So, your sense of time right now is only because of your physical identity. If you can sit here without any sense of body, then you don't know time. You've heard of people who sat for hours on end, days on end. This happened to me at a certain point when I was little older than you, I was 25. I just sat in one place and suddenly I did not realize time. I thought it's 10-20 minutes, about 4.5 hours had passed. And I was like blowing with ecstasy. Then they started happening more often. If I just sat in one place and I think it's 2 minutes, hours, 7-8 hours have just passed away. One day I sat down and I thought it's maybe 25-30 minutes. I was sitting in a rural space around Mysore, and when I opened my eyes, the big crowd, India being what it is, the garlands around me, people are trying to molest my feet. And I said, where the hell did you come from? Then they say, you've been sitting here for 13 days. I thought it's only 25-30 minutes. Only when I tried to open my legs, I found my knees were locked up. It took a lot of effort to straighten them. But in my experience, I thought it's only 25-30 minutes. But when I say this may be a little difficult to grasp. But have you noticed, on a particular day you were very joyful. 24 hours, poof, went off like 10 minutes. Is that so? Another day you're a little depressed. 24 hours feels like a lifetime. Yes or no? Time is a very relative experience. People say, how long a minute is depends on which side of the bathroom door you are. You go there and knock and they say, hey, just 1 minute, wait. 1 minute.
So we've read about a lot of yogis who travel across time. In a fraction of a second, they've traveled from India to China. That's where some of the
At those times, nobody was going to China. Only now everybody is going to China.
They can travel in a fraction of a second. Is that the travel which is the travel through mind or body, or if such a travel happens, is it possible?
Time travel. There's no need to travel. Time and space is an illusion created by your mind. If you transcend that, there's no here and there, there is no now and then. So if you are like that, if there are willing recipients, see right now, suppose we have a transmitter here. See right now it's happening actually. I am speaking here, see no wires, these wires are not connected to me, see, no wires. I am speaking here, it's coming out all over the place. Yes? No wires, because it's transmitting. Because it's transmitting, what I speak here is all over the place. So, your ability to transmit yourself, to what extent you can, simply depends on to what extent you are not. Is it physical, is it mental, is it this, is it that? These are all divisions made by your mind. Can you exactly divide where is your body and where is your mind? We can talk in that context only for the sake of understanding, not for the sake of perception, not for the sake of experience. You cannot experience your mind or your body or anything else separately, isn't it? If you did not have a mind, could you experience the body? Huh? No. So do you know where's your mind now? Do you know? No. So, it is just you, do you understand? The rest is all made up. You is good enough. Don't make up too many things. Don't make up too many things, because you're only confusing the whole issue. Instead of simplifying the issue, you're confusing the issue, you're complicating the issue. So, time, space, these are all made up in your head. Such things don't exist. If you simply sit here, not being a victim of your mind, what is here is there, what is there is here. You didn't go anywhere, everything was here, that's all.
Take a moment to let your mind settle and breathe deeply. Isn't it fascinating that how the mysteries of life can stir such curiosity within us? It's not about reaching distant places or uncovering every answers. It's about the depth of experience we allow ourselves to have right here and now. The idea of time and space can sometimes feel overwhelming, like an endless puzzle waiting to be solved. But perhaps the real magic lies in simply living present, embrace the wonder of what is already around us. Each breath we take connects us to something far greater than we see or comprehend. Remember, it's not to have all the answers. The beauty of life often lies in the questions themselves and the journey of exploration. If you feel inspired or moved, carry this sense of curiosity into your daily life. Let it guide you towards new ways of thinking, feeling, and being. Thank you for spending your time here and being open to this journey of thought. This is not a summary of Sadhguru's word, it is simply my interpretation of the deep wisdom he imparted. Kindly keep them separated and do not misunderstand. Thank you for joining, and we will see you tomorrow. Until then, please take care. Namaskaram.